Deep inside the rugged mountains of Wales lies a place where the sky touches the stone, the Mach Loop. Every morning, before the mist even lifts, the valley begins whispering strange echoes. Locals say it's the sound of thunder trapped between ridges, but aviation fans know the truth. Fighter jets slice this air with impossible speed. Today, something different is coming. A set of maneuvers never performed publicly before. Pilots call it the razor line, a low-level sequence so sharp that even a tiny mistake can send metal and fire scattering across the valley floor. Inside the briefing room at RAF Valley, two elite pilots prepare for the mission, one flying the USAF F-15E Strike Eagle, the other commanding the RAF's Eurofighter Typhoon. Their goal is not competition, it's precision, teamwork, and trust. They study wind directions, terrain curves, and emergency exit paths. The Mach Loop isn't just a training route, it's a gauntlet where mountains judge talent. Today's mission demands flying lower than treetops, faster than sounds echo, relying only on reflex and instinct. The lead pilot whispers, "One mistake, and the valley decides your fate." Engines roar awake like ancient beasts. Flames burst from exhausts as both jets roll down the runway, gathering impossible momentum. Once airborne, the machines slice through the clouds, gliding toward the unforgiving Welsh valleys. Pilots tighten their oxygen masks, syncing their breathing with the rhythm of the aircraft. Every second counts. Turbulence kicks in early, shaking the cockpit like a warning. But there's no turning back now. The razor line maneuver requires absolute commitment from the very first second. Ahead lies the narrow pass, dark, silent, waiting to swallow the jets whole. As they reach the Mach Loop's entrance, the world below transforms into a twisting labyrinth. The mountains rise like jagged walls, leaving barely enough room for the aircraft to fit. The jets drop lower, skimming only meters above the ground. Trees blur into green streaks, and rocks flash by like sparks. Every move must be perfectly timed. Even a slight miscalculation could send a wing slicing into the mountainside. The pilots glide through the first curve, feeling the crushing G-forces bend reality. The mission has officially begun, and it is unforgiving. The razor line's first maneuver demands a brutal left-banking turn at extreme low altitude. The F-15E leads, pulling hard as its wings scrape the wind. The Typhoon follows, matching the movement block for block. The valley shakes with their passing. Birds scatter. The wind erupts. Inside the cockpit, alarms beep softly. Warnings of altitude limits push too far. Yet the pilots stay calm, hands steady. This is where skill matters most. Precision is the only shield they possess. The jets clear the turn perfectly, leaving a trail of vibrating air behind them. Midway through the valley, unpredictable turbulence strikes. It slams into the jets like an invisible wall. The F-15E jolts sideways, nearly brushing the cliff face. The Typhoon dives slightly, struggling to regain balance. The pilots' voices crackle over radio, steady, controlled, but tense. They have trained for years, but the Mach Loop has a mind of its own. The razor line maneuver must continue. No braking formation, no climbing out. They correct their paths in synchronized motion, fighting the valley's wrath. For a moment, even the mountains seem to hold their breath. Ahead lies the most dangerous part of the razor line, the Shadow Ridge drop. It's a steep downward angle where visibility collapses, and pilots must trust their instruments more than their eyes. The jets descend sharply, their metal frames trembling under pressure. Sunlight vanishes behind the ridge, plunging them into sudden darkness. For 4 terrifying seconds, they fly blind. Only radar altimeters keep them from smashing into the ground. When they burst back into daylight, a roar erupts, half from the jets, half from the pilot's adrenaline. The valley opens briefly, but crosswinds here are infamous. They strike without warning, capable of flipping an aircraft sideways. As expected, a sudden gust hits the Typhoon first, pushing it dangerously close to the rocks. The pilot counters instantly, muscles straining against the G-force. The F-15E swings wide to avoid collision, adjusting position mid-flight. It's a split-second dance of survival performed at 500 knots. One misstep means disaster, yet both jets glide through beautifully, proving why these pilots are counted among the world's finest. The final maneuver demands a synchronized climb and roll, an aerial signature known only to elite low-level pilots. The jets accelerate, engines screaming, as they rise sharply from the valley floor. The climb forces blood downward, making vision blur and darken. Still, the pilots push through, executing the roll with flawless timing. The world spins around them, mountains wheeling past like ghosts. When the jets level out above the ridge, the valley finally releases them. The razor line is complete. Not a single mistake, not a single hesitation. Midway through the valley, unpredictable turbulence strikes. It slams into the jets like an invisible wall. The F-15E jolts sideways, nearly brushing the cliff face. The Typhoon dives slightly, struggling to regain balance. The pilots' voices crackle over radio, steady, controlled, but tense. They have trained for years, but the Mach Loop has a mind of its own. The razor line maneuver must continue. No braking formation, no climbing out. They correct their paths in synchronized motion, fighting the valley's wrath. For a moment, even the mountains seem to hold their breath.